every meowie. It's the last Purr's day of the month, so it's time for Warrior Chats. I'm Taylor Felicity. I'm healing with Melanie and Zay. We're Healenials who didn't read the Warrior Cats books as kids, but reading them now to see how it changes us. And first of all, I have to shout out, canonically first in chat, Dreamy Etude. Hello, Dreamy. Hello. I saw Mason clocked in, Dreamy clocked in, Melanie, of course, clocked in. I saw Mila in chat, but I don't think they clocked in, so not getting paid this month. Not getting paid if you didn't clock in. Did they?
Wow.
They clocked in and then they rolled the die.
Okay. I see that from 2 days ago. Maybe my Twitch is going wacky.
Uh-oh.
Your Twitch is time traveling.
My Twitch is time traveling. I think this command is right. If you would like, we do have a bingo board. You can click on that link and it should generate, I think you might have to click something, but generate a bingo board for you that's virtual. The first person to get a bingo gets a VIP or a gifted sub, your choice. Wheat Mist.
Wheat Mist is my word.
It's like a terrible cereal.
If you're gluten intolerant, don't come near me.
The Wheat Mist will take you. And a canonical, oh my gosh, obligatory.
Black Moon.
Ooh,
that's
hell. That's really sick. That's Shadow Clan. That's your Shadow Clan OC.
Yeah. That's teenage me. That's my teenage OC right there.
Yeah, that's your teenage OC who's dating Scourge. Ooh, Nine Stripe. That's actually a really cool name, I think.
That's sick.
Nine Stripe. That's cool.
Solid. I feel like Wheat Mist would be in Wind Clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I'm just thinking about a cat named Nine Kit, which is funny. Ooh, Moss Flight. That's a good one too. We're getting some good names in here today. Okay. Of course, we have to shout out, get your books from the library, support the library. Libraries are very important.
Pretty great.
I'm really happy because this time I got the version of the book I prefer, which is the old school cover. And I think it helped with immersion. And then whizzing right by to TikTok. All three of these comments are kind of about the same thing because guys, I didn't post that many clips this month, sorry. But these are all about Tiger Star wanting to kill Scourge when he was a kitten. I think these are all from YouTube comments. Star Warrior 7111 commented, thinking about it, if we apply it to human logic, it would be like a college student trying to kill a 6-year-old.
For no reason.
For no reason. A college student sees a 6-year-old in the quad and is like, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Let me at him.
Let me at him. Let me at him.
You're fucking done, dude.
And then Sulfur9915 said, my take on it, which I think they're referring to Blue Star's solo book, but it's not really a spoiler for it, said, my take on it is that Bluefur was so obsessed with her hatred of Thistleclaw, as she should be, that she couldn't see Tigerpaw's actions as his own, and instead attributed it all to his mentor, which I believe Thistleclaw was mentioned in the first series as the other cat that was potentially going to be deputy. I think that's mentioned, that she was like, this is why I had to get rid of my kittens, because I couldn't have Thistleclaw be the deputy. And then Rias Baji commented, Warrior Cat's logic is so strange, goofy, and honestly so frustrating at points, and that's why it's my favorite book series. It's my soap opera in book form. which I love. Oh, okay, wait. Is Nine Stripe an upgrade or a downgrade from the Warrior Cat name I chose for myself as a middle schooler, which is Amber Soul.
Amber Soul is so good.
Amber Soul is very good. I love that.
Speaking of warrior names, Taylor, are you gonna get one for the stream?
Yeah, I'll do it now so I don't interrupt Margot's recap, because that's the next thing. Warrior Cat name. It's gonna be a bad one, I think. Oh, Moonfrost, another moon.
Whoa.
Moonfrost is cool.
Moonfrost is good. I like that.
Yeah,
Black
we're all
Moon,
getting good names.
Moonfrost, and Wheat Mist. We all go together.
We all got equally cool names.
A real trio.
We're all the same level. We're all matching.
This is just like this is just like last month where Marco and I both got Cinder Pelt, the blind boxes, and you got Spotted Leaf. So we're matching and you're not matching. Okay, well anyway, Marco, take it away with the book recap.
All right, let's get into Starlight, book 4 in the New Prophecy arc. This one was published in 2006, same year as the last one, if you just like 6 months apart. This one was written by Cherith Baldry. And we'll jump right in because there's a lot to get to. So we'll start with the prologue, where around an eerie glowing pool, which is described as being in the shape of a full moon, which I've always called a circle, but
Whoa. So you don't have a poet's soul, is what you're saying. Immediately the hater is leaping out of you.
Yeah, oh, it started real fast, this book. This is
immediately. Ugh.
What? This is like paragraph 1.
Moon, more like circle. I'd rather be called black circle.
They say the shape of a full moon. That's a circle.
Sure. Continue.
A lot of things are that shape. Anyway, StarClan is there, and they're discussing their difficult journey to the clan's new home. This place will have plenty of food and space for them, but StarClan and their visitor, the prophetic badger Midnight, worry about danger from within the clans themselves. Presumably this is Hawkfrost, but StarClan is committed to being vague even with each other. Yellowfang steps forward and delivers a prophecy. Before there is peace, blood will spill blood, and the lake will run red. Also there is Spotted Leaf, who's now canonically in love with Firestar and always has been, and she looks for a way to save him specifically, even if it takes all the power of StarClan. Blue Star warns her that that might not be enough, and they all leave, with Midnight grumbling that she will visit the clans one more time. She doesn't yet, but we'll put a pin in that, I guess, for way later. Back with the rest of the cats, Aaron Hunter said, "Fuck time jumps," so the book begins immediately where the previous one left off, with the cats arriving at the wooded lake that will be their new home. It's late, though, and they don't have time to stake out territory yet, so the 4 clans have to work together one more time to make camp and keep watch over each other. Brambleclaw settles down with Squirrelpaw and sleeps. The next morning, Firestar announces the first apprentice to be made a warrior in their new home, and Squirrelpaw becomes Squirrelflight. The leaders decide to send out a combined patrol with cats from each clan. Brambleclaw, Crowfeather, Tawnypelt, and Mistyfoot are named, and Squirrelflight is added to the group when she protests not going along. The other cats agree because we can't leave a main character behind, so the 5 set out to explore the territory around the lake. As they head off, Leafpaw meets up with some of the other medicine cats to explore the area nearby, searching for herbs and, hopefully, a moonstone or other way of connecting with StarClan. While they don't find the latter, Mothwing does find an interesting island that she is convinced would work for gatherings, even if no one else does. Back with the cats around the lake, even though Mistyfoot is a deputy and therefore the highest ranking cat, all the other cats look to Brambleclaw to mediate decisions, another sign of how differently these 4 have all worked together. After a full day, they make it halfway around the lake and discover possible camps for River Clan and Shadow Clan, as well as a nearby 2-leg place with 2 angry kitty pets. They later find a place for Thunder Clan in an abandoned quarry that, thankfully for Mel's sanity, is surrounded and filled with brambles instead of gorse. So there seems to be plenty of gorse in the territory they find for Wind Clan. After that, they return to the other cats and describe the area to them, though it's too late in the day to go out and set boundaries now. Pretty quickly, divisions begin to arise both within and between clans. Mistyfoot and Hawkfrost argue over where the River Clan camp should be, and all 4 clans squabble over where the new gathering should be held. Even Crowfeather is quick to put up boundaries, dismissing Leafpaw's help because she's from another clan. But not everyone is so ready for the clans to separate again. The kids from the various clans have all become friends and don't want to split up. With more intrigue between the clans, just before dawn breaks on the next day, Tall Star summons Firestar to his deathbed. The Wind Clan leader thanks Firestar and Brambleclaw for saving his clan, and says Brambleclaw will make a good deputy. He then tells them and One Whisker that Mudclaw is not the right cat to take his place, because he will drive further divisions between the clans instead of friendship. Just before Tallstar dies, he says Mudclaw is no longer deputy and declares One Whisker deputy and successor to clan leader. I'm not sure that's exactly how this works, but Firestar is plenty happy to declare his friend the new leader. Mudclaw is much less happy about this decision and is willing to fight One Whisker for leadership. He's eventually talked down, but refuses to be One Whisker's deputy, and so Ashfoot, Crowfeather's mother and a well-liked cat, is chosen instead. Brambleclaw by now also desperately wants to be named a deputy, but Firestar refuses to replace the still missing Gray Stripe. As the cats prepare to leave and head to their new territories, Mothwing accidentally gives some tainted waters to the elders. We'll get to more on that in a second. But in the first rough night in ThunderClan's camp, Leafpaw dreams of the lake and of the island shining brightly, as if it needs to be explored more. Then the lake turns thick and red, and she hears the same prophecy that Yellowfang delivered in the prologue. She's woken by Sorreltail coming in with an emergency. Mousefur is sick, which Leafpaw thinks is likely from the tainted water Mothwing gave the elders. So the next day, she, Cinderpelt, and Thornclaw go to find herbs and share some with the weaker Wind Clan. When Leafpaw goes to Wind Clan, Crowfeather is a dick to her the entire time she helps the Wind Clan elders, as well as when escorting her back. But despite the fact that these two do not get along at all, the narrative is clearly pushing them together by this point.
Okay. Margot, have you never heard of enemies to lovers?
I've heard of enemies to lovers, but this is one enemy. We'll get to this because there's more to come.
We'll talk about it more. I just think it's funny when you see two people that hate each other. You're like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Why is the narrative pushing them together? Okay, sure. We're different people, I guess.
Yeah, we'll get more into this later. It feels like it comes out of nowhere to me because they don't interact before this, and it starts before this moment there. But there's a moment where Leafpaw just sees Crowfeather, and she's just there's weird feelings, and it's kind of out of nowhere. And then he's just consistently mean to her. He refuses her help. He doesn't seem to like her. He pushes her away.
We can't get into this right now. We can't get into this right now. Listen, get through the recap and we'll get into it. We all have things to say about this specifically.
We've got a lot.
I know.
We've got a lot.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. So just after this, that night, Brambleclaw dreams of Tigerstar, who tells him and his half-brother Hawkfrost, who's also in the dream, that he is not with StarClan and there is more sky than Silverpelt. Before he leaves, he tells them to guard their territory closely. The next day, Spiderpaw graduates to Warrior and is named Spiderleg. Mousefur just decides to retire, I guess, and join the Elders. Then Firestar heads to the gathering, taking Brambleclaw and some other warriors with him.
Melanie, are you losing it because of some Spiderleg?
I'm losing it because of your reaction to Spiderleg, and can we just real quick? My notes when Spiderpaw came up, I was like, "Oh, cool!" And then I got named Spiderleg. I was like, "Why?"
Worst name of all of the cats. I'd rather be called Mudfur than Spiderleg. Ugh. Oh yeah, this cat has 8 legs, by the way.
No, just one spider leg.
One spiny little leg.
Singular spider leg.
Spiderleg is the worst name. It
is one of the worst we've had.
If I got named Spiderleg, I would jump off the side of the canyon that made my new home. Which he actually did, so he almost did before.
Yeah. I don't think I mentioned that in the recap, but he does almost die.
Okay, anyway, continue. I just hate Spiderleg.
At the gathering, Brambleclaw talks to Hawkfrost about goings-on, which makes Squirrelflight mad, though she continues to not elaborate as to why she does not like Hawkfrost. The clans bicker a bit about their boundaries and then wrap up the gathering, but the medicine cats stay for a bit to talk, mostly about the need for a new moonstone. As they leave, Mothwing reveals to Leafpaw that she's a cat atheist and doesn't believe in StarClan. She gets cut off before saying much more, but reveals that something was off about the Mothwing that was seen as a sign of StarClan's acceptance of her as a medicine cat.
Taylor was right.
I was right.
Taylor was very right. Props there.
Atheist medicine cat is so wild.
I
love it.
I have a lot to say about Mothwing this episode.
The fact that I won't get into it too much. It's so wild. All right. A couple of weeks later, Leafpaw has another dream. First of Crowfeather mourning Feathertail, and then of Spotted Leaf, who has been shockingly absent for 2/3 of the book. Spotted Leaf tells her that Starlight on water will show her where the cats can meet with StarClan. Leafpaw sees a stream running and hears a waterfall before she wakes up. It's still night, but she believes she needs the Starlight, and so heads out with Sorreltail. At the stream that marks the ThunderClan border with WindClan, they follow it all the way up the hill and find a waterfall and a pool at its bottom, as well as Spotted Leaf, of course, who leads her down to the pool. When she gets there, Leafpaw finds the rest of StarClan waiting for her, including the ThunderClan cats who were lost on the journey here. Another lost cat comes to say hello, Feathertail, who tells Leafpaw she walks in two skies now, with StarClan and the tribe of Endless Hunting. This pool is the sign that the cats have been waiting for, and Leafpaw dubs it the Moon Pool. When Leafpaw returns and explains what she found, Cinderpelt decides to set out immediately and to tell the other medicine cats so they can all meet at the Moon Pool. Brambleclaw and Sandstorm offer to go with her. At the half moon, the medicine cats journey to the Moon Pool together. At Leafpaw's suggestion, they drink some of the water in the pool and fall into their own dreams. Leafpool dreams again of the Lake of Blood, because apparently StarClan worries him we all might have forgotten in the last 30 pages or so. Before they head back, Cinderpelt declares that it is time for Leafpaw to receive her true name and performs the ceremony there at the Moon Pool and names her Leafpool. The next morning, Mistyfoot rushes into ThunderClan territory, asking to speak to Firestar immediately. She saw Hawkfrost and Mudclaw meeting recently and discovered that they had met multiple times. That morning, Hawkfrost went on patrol with a couple of his closest allies. They haven't returned, but she did track them into ShadowClan territory. Mistyfoot believes this all adds up to a plot to attack One Whisker and replace him with Mudclaw before he has a chance to share tongues with StarClan. Firestar gathers his warriors and sets out to make sure WindClan and One Whisker are safe. ThunderClan arrives just in time to see this strange alliance attacking WindClan, and they leap in to help. It's going poorly until Squirrel Flight shows up with backup. And it turns completely when a thunderstorm begins to roll in and Mudclaw and Hawkfrost flee with their warrior allies, with Crowfeather and Brambleclaw hot on their tails. Crowfeather follows a pair of ShadowClan warriors to ThunderClan's camp, where they quite literally run into Leafpool, who is watching. The two warriors fall into the camp and snap their necks, while Leafpool barely gets a paw hold on the rock. Dangling there, she cries to Crowfeather for help, but he's having flashbacks to Feathertail's death and just manages to save her in time. And because this is apparently a teen romance book now, he confesses his love to Leafpool. Apparently, he feels guilty for loving her so soon after Feathertail's death, and that's why he's been so mean to her. She, quote, walks in his dreams. As we've said, we'll all talk about that in a minute. Back with Brambleclaw, he slips in the mud while trying to attack, and Mudclaw gets the advantage on him. The traitorous WindClan warrior is about to kill him until Hawkfrost steps in. He tells Brambleclaw that he wouldn't let a cat kill his own brother, which is definitely not part of the warrior code. Mudclaw says Hawkfrost came to him and offered his help if Mudclaw made him a WindClan deputy and helped him take over RiverClan later. Hawkfrost just says this is a lie, which is enough to convince Brambleclaw. Mudclaw escapes, and Squirrel Flight arrives in time to see Brambleclaw let Hawkfrost go. And then lightning strikes and sends a tree crashing to the ground on top of Mudclaw and Hawkfrost. As more cats arrive, Hawkfrost climbs out, dragging Mudclaw's dead body. He admits to One Whisker that he had his doubts, but downplays his part in the whole thing, and the cats all agree that the tree killing Mudclaw was StarClan's sign that One Whisker is the true leader of WindClan. So they just let Hawkfrost go.
He's probably innocent, so that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
He's a good warrior. You're not going to let him go?
There's a sign from StarClan. Mudclaw was the bad guy the whole time.
Yeah, he did what he believed was right. So
yeah, definitely nothing suspicious with Mudclaw dying under the tree, but not Hawkfrost. He seems nice. He's literally nice.
He's literally Brambleclaw's half-brother, and doesn't that mean anything to you cats?
He's so nice, I guess. Also, the tree fell perfectly, so the cats can now easily cross onto the island, so they have the perfect place for gatherings, and their new home is now complete. A happy ending?
Everything's good now.
Everything's good.
Hawkfrost is literally nice.
He's literally nice, you guys. He's so handsome and
handsome and
charismatic.
Nice. He is charismatic. Melanie, you want to do your person of his first?
My purr is that I'm really loving this new area. Like, the new ThunderClan camp, cool as hell. I'm really excited to see them explore this area. Like, all the clans explore the area. My sniff is the relationship between Leafpool and Crowfeather. It's a bad boy and a nun. Like, how will this shake out?
So true.
Will Leafpool follow in Yellowfang's paw steps, having a kid? Maybe like what will happen? So I'm excited to see what happens with that. I'm also excited to see how Graystripe will inevitably rejoin the clan. It'll probably be in some sort of like heroic moment when they need him most, and like it's gonna get so gay immediately after that, and I'm excited for it. Yeah, fucking better. This, we will get into it. I have some thoughts about this book in terms of the gay content.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there is some, and we'll talk about it.
I peeked at yours, and I'm astonished.
Oh boy.
At your reading of the book. But say your hiss.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. My hiss, I put Brambleclaw, you incestuous doofus.
That's the reading that I did not get at all. That I noticed that you elaborate on later.
We're gonna talk about it. I have quotes from moments with him in Hawkfrost that I have.
Oh my god!
I take issue with.
All right, I'm curious about this.
Okay, I'll do my purrs of his. Purr, the cats felt like teenagers in a way that I love. I thought that they all are so much more interesting than Firestar. Like, Firestar's book, it was not really, like, Firestar as a character is so, like, straightforward. Like, he's just a doofus with a heart of gold, basically. And so I really like that all of these cats that are, like, the main characters of this book are a little bit more interesting and flawed in interesting ways. The scene with Crowfeather and Leafpool when he pulls her from the cliff is so my shit. Like, I was like, yes! I love them so much. I think it's so fun. I guess I'll talk about this more because I'm sure we disagree, I think. But the thing that I like is all the other cat romances so far have been a line or two that are like, oh, they're looking at each other, you can tell that they like each other, and then they're like, oh, I love you. Like, that's what it was for Brambleclaw and Squirrel Flight. Obviously, it didn't come out of nowhere, but it just doesn't really feel like to me, it didn't feel like a satisfying romance, because it's just like, okay, yeah, they're ending up together.
Well, these cats don't know what love is, so we'll talk about it.
Okay. Interesting. Interesting thing to just say. I also really love stories that are about making a new place homey and comfortable, and I liked the politics stuff between the different clans and establishing the borders. I liked Brambleclaw reckoning with his heritage and the positive and negative aspects of his heritage. I thought was really interesting. Sniff, Tiger Star is confirmed, not with StarClan. And I can't wait for them to talk about that more. We kind of already knew that because it's kind of in reference, but I feel like there's going to be more solid, like, where do bad cats go? Cat hell. I think people have said, like, the Dark Forest is, like, something with bad cats. Yeah.
I have heard that. Yeah. I was going to say the Dirt Place. That's what I would call it.
I think you've said that before.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. And then Hiss, the way Leafpool and Brambleclaw kept thinking, oh, that's not a good move politically about different things that were going on, felt kind of hand-holdy. Where they would be like, he really shouldn't have done that because now blah blah blah, but it's also a kid's book, so I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like, I was just imagining if, like, Game of Thrones, if like Daenerys, like, in her mind was like, oh, he really shouldn't be doing that to that dragon or what. I don't know. Like, it's just kind of funny that it's like political, but then they're telling you all the stuff about it. But Margot, what are your Purr, Sniff, and Hiss?
Yeah, Purr. The new forest is really fun. I for some reason I feel like I can visualize this a little bit, like the layout better. I think it's simple. It's a big circle. Like that's pretty easy to get. But it shakes up like the dynamics. We're seeing everything from ThunderClan's perspective, and now they're next to Wind Clan and Shadow Clan, whereas before it was like mostly River Clan. So I like seeing where I feel like we're gonna see a little bit more interconnectedness there. The island is gonna be interesting. The moon pool. I like it. I like it better than the previous section, I think. Sniff, I'm really curious to see where Brambleclaw's newfound ambition goes. I suspect it's going to last for about 2/3 of the next book, and then he'll just be a good guy again. But I don't know. It's interesting to get that sort of internal strife from a character, like you talked about with Firestar being such a straightforward character. Having a character who's sort of our hero, even though we've changed viewpoints a few times. Like this is sort of our main character for this, and it's been pretty interesting to see that. Even if he's so stupid, just like Firestar before him.
So incredibly stupid.
His Leafpool and Crowfeather feel so forced to me. Like it from the start, it's clearly set up from the beginning of the book, and it just never clicks for me. Do they have one interaction where they're not like being mean to each other, and not in like a flirty way, but like Crowfeather is a dick to Leafpool, and she's just like, I don't know why he's so mean, and then he's like, I love you desperately, and I'm like,
okay,
I can't.
This bitch has never watched Pride and Prejudice, it sounds like.
This bitch. What's fun about this is that Leaf Crow has been Taylor's Purr, my Sniff, and then your Hiss.
Yeah,
that's very fun.
We covered the gamut. We got the gamut.
We all feel different ways.
Yeah, I just can't get into it. And I'm sure I'm going to be accused of this being biased because I've talked so much about Mothwing and Leafpool. I knew that was never going to happen. It's a fun thing to talk about. But it just, the first moment where Leafpool is like thinks something about Crowfeather that was like, watched him walk away and was like sad that he walked away or something. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this. And I don't. It only got worse.
Yeah, I think in chat people are also split because I believe Call Me Z is a bit. Yeah, Call Me Z said if Leaf Crow has 100 fans, I am one of them. If Leaf Crow has 0 fans, I am no longer on this earth. But then Mace said, much respect, but I'm a Leaf Crow hater through and through. So this is divisive.
We'll see where it goes. To me, it feels set up to be the most toxic relationship possible in that he's so awful to her and she doesn't even seem to like him. She just seems to be in love with him.
It's maddening to me. Like, so up until now, it's been Leafpaw has been like salivating at the mere thought of Mothwing. It feels like she has been so into Mothwing, and then
Cody was really cool.
Yeah. And then she looks at Crowfeather's way once, and Cinderpelt's like, be careful where your affections lie, or whatever the fuck she says. Like, it's, what are we doing?
They feel electricity in the air.
It feels like this happens in like early, like in 90s and early 2000s, like TV shows. If someone was like kind of coded lesbian, they would be like, oh, now they have a boyfriend, actually. Actually, no, they're actually straight.
Okay, so you guys hate enemies to lovers and you hate bisexuals. Okay.
No, I love enemies to lovers. But I also love lesbians.
I love both of those things. I don't like when enemies to lovers is done really poorly.
Listen, I have to admit, I shipped Kylo Ren and Rey, okay? I don't have good taste, but I have consistent taste, okay?
Call Me Z says Leaf Crow and Crowfeather in general is very divisive in the fandom. Crowfeather in general, He's one of my favorite. He's my best boy.
I was about to respond. I really like Crowfeather. I think I talked about how in the last book I had come around and I was really, really into him as a character. I really like Crowfeather. He doesn't get enough in this book, and what he does get, I think, isn't fun, isn't well done, and isn't fun. I don't know. It felt so, he was so devoted to like getting everybody to their new home, and he was like, he had stopped being so driven by like being part of a clan, even though that clearly was like, you know, they're all cats. And then this book, he so immediately switches back to like, no, we have to put up boundaries. I have to be part of Wind Clan. Fuck all the other clans, except Leafpool, who I'm desperately in love with, despite not talking
I would say
ever.
that's why he puts up the walls about different clans, because he feels attracted to Leafpaw, and first of all, she's another clan, but second of all, he's still mourning his previous love, and she's in training to be a medicine cat. So that's like why I liked the scene where he saved her and she was like, oh, you know, you probably wish it was any other cat or whatever she said, and he was like, no, can't you see, like, the reason why I'm doing this, it is a defense mechanism. Like, that's why he's being mean to her. That's why he's pushing everyone away.
I think the thing is, I just don't buy it, because there's no point where I'm like, oh, I can see how these two cats would like get along. They just, there's no point where I'm ever like, oh, I can see how they could be friends if they weren't lovers, apparently. Yeah. Like, there's nothing that ever buys me into the relationship. So it's just like an admission of love.
The part where the air between them crackles, that doesn't do it for you? That doesn't solidify for you that they are meant to be and should be in love?
Oh, because Crowfeather was like really mean to her and she just kind of takes it.
Crowfeather's flank brushed hers, making her fur tingle like the air before a storm. He leaped back too, then stepped forward again without meeting her eyes, as if he was embarrassed. I love that. I also love... I wrote, OMG, Leafpool is Ramona Flowers appearing in Crowfeather's dream, but it's because of her job. It's like exactly like Scott Pilgrim, where he's like, you were in my dreams, and she's like, oh.
It was because of Ramona's job, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the same.
Perfect.
It's the same. Crowfeather just has a subspace highway in his mind that's easy to get to.
Speaking of Crowfeather, I am, as interesting as a character as he is, I am a little disappointed we've gone back to Brambleclaw as a POV character, because based on the blurb at the back of my book, it looks like the next one will be from the point of view of Squirrelflight again.
Oh, okay.
And I assume we'll have to get more Brambleclaw before the end. I could be wrong. That's me guessing. But I feel disappointed by that. I really wanted a Tawny Pelt and Crowfeather point of view, and I just don't know that we're going to get it this series.
Yeah, I agree. That is a bummer, because Tawny Pelt is so interesting to me, but like we don't really get anything from her.
I have another note about that too, but like she gets nothing.
The misogyny of it.
Yes.
Melanie, how did you feel about no fur?
As being another term for two legs. Loved it. Wrote it down.
Great.
But it's in the same area where they were before. I don't know.
But they're kitty pets. Wait, it's not the same area they were before.
I don't think it's the same area at all.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. That was a different area.
Some other things, language stuff. Mistyfoot says the two legs they see a boat for the first time. Well, some of them see a boat, like some cats have seen boats. And Mistyfoot's like, oh yeah, that's a boat. The two legs call it a boat. And in my mind, then I was like, okay, so in other languages, like if you're like siesta, like if I was like, oh, I'm going to take a siesta, I'm saying the Spanish word. So is Mistyfoot meowing a word that sounds like the human word for boat? Like, is she like, like, is that what's happening there? That's the only thing I can imagine.
In my head now.
Also, right after that, they talk about like the different plants and stuff in the area, and they're like, oh, there's catmint. And I was like, it's really funny that they call it catmint, because surely to them it would just be mint.
And then the other kinds of mint is human mint?
Two-leg mint.
Oh, yeah. At one point, Squirrelflight says, keep your fur on. Like someone would say, keep your pants on. And I think that just doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't, but I love it.
Yeah, I
Keep your
appreciate it
fur
a
on.
lot.
Likewise, Squirrel Flight said thanks for everything to Dustpelt, and that just, I don't know why, but felt really human to me. I don't think it's sarcastic in the book.
Yeah.
I didn't make a note of like tone, but I just like thanks for everything. It feels so weirdly like modern human and not cat. I don't know.
Another thing that I wrote down is in this book they say, how's the prey running? One cat says that to another, which I only remember them saying. Firestar says it to someone in Firestar's quest, and he says it and they're kind of like, ugh, and then he's like, I hope I didn't sound weird. And in this book also, a cat says it to another cat and the other cat is like put off. And so I'm like, is this like, what's going on with this saying? It's just always awkward apparently to say, how's the prey running?
How's it hanging, my dude?
How's the prey hanging? But I just thought it was funny because I don't remember them ever saying another place. There's another place where Brambleclaw, I think, says like, oh, so that's how the prey runs or something like that. But like, that's not a common thing they say, I don't think. I only remember it coming across awkwardly. Mason, I gotta ask my coworker, how's the prey? Hey, how's the prey running, Jim?
Yeah, I'll try that tomorrow morning when I get into work.
Hey, everybody, how's the prey running? Hey, every meowie. I feel like I got a paw in both worlds right now.
Okay, we're done. We're done with Leaf Crow. Anything more to say?
I think we have to stop.
I've said my piece.
Okay.
I hate it, and it doesn't make sense to me. That's
Margot and I will fight at dawn. It will be to the death. And then we'll fall in love.
I always knew it like this.
But I'll still kill them.
You have to.
I have to.
You love them too much.
I love you so much. I have to kill you because I hate you so much.
Hey, if that's how I go, that's fine.
Go
ahead.
Yeah.
A thing that I don't want to spend a ton of time on, but if we can have our Spotted Leaf 5 minutes of hate.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Do I have to cut it down to 5 minutes?
Yeah. Hey, you have an out. You have a time you need to be done by.
So the beginning, when she's like, "I'll do anything to protect." Anything in my power to protect Firestar. In my head, I'm just like, fart noise? Like, if there's 0 Spotted Leaf haters out there, I'm dead. Like,
I'm long dead.
Later. Oh, go ahead.
I just want to say, my second note that I wrote down for this entire book was "fuck off with the Spotted Leaf shit."
God damn it!
I wrote down the note about a moon is a circle, and then I said "fuck off" with Spotted Leaf.
So you started in the hater mindset. You did not give this book a chance. You said moon, more like circle. You ripped your book in half.
So we don't have too much Spotted Leaf in this book, thankfully. Towards the end, though, she shows up again, and not only is her scent sweet, but it is also now beautiful. It is a beautiful, sweet scent. I hate that. We're describing this scent as beautiful? Fuck off.
Why does she get to break the rules? I'll bring it up every time. She gets to follow completely different rules than the rest of StarClan, and there's no explanation given yet.
I hate it so much.
She could just Spotted Leaf can do whatever the fuck she wants forever, I guess.
I think kind of related, not exactly Spotted Leaf, but I do have just kind of an existential issue, which I think this is the first time we see StarClan get a prophecy. I think we've seen the prophecies be passed down to the cats who are still alive, but I think this is the first time that it shows the process, and I'm left with more questions than ever before. Who is giving them these visions? Because it seems like Yellowfang like gets a vision and she's like, I kind of don't know what this means, and it's like, where are you getting this from? Are there gods that are above you? Are there other cats? What's happening? How are you getting these visions? It's just something StarClan can do. How is this happening? But it does answer the question of why the prophecies are so vague, because apparently StarClan's also getting vague prophecies, and they're just passing it directly down to everyone else. I don't know. Blood will fight blood. Blake full of blood. Sure. we'll tell them that. That's what I saw. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's just the best they can do. This also continued the trend of the prologue answering one of the central questions of the book before the book even started, which is StarClan did follow the cats to the new place. The whole book, all the cats are going, is StarClan even here? And we're like, yeah, page 1, we found out StarClan's here, and we know where they are. And I knew exactly where they are because there's a map in the book that shows the moon pool. So it's like, okay, I think I know what that's going to be.
We also find out in the prologue that StarClan can't always see all the cats. There are times when they're not omnipresent.
Yeah.
In the way that I think I thought they were before.
Yeah.
They're blocked by other cats that I think are in their, like, home sky. Because I think the reason why they couldn't see them was because of the running water, the tribe of running water. And that's why when Squirrel Flight and Leafpool were trying to communicate with each other, they were just hearing, like waterfalls. Yeah. I think it was because it was, like, spiritual interference. And that's also why all the cats from Sky Clan are, like, not with Star Clan, because they're in a different sky. They're in, like, a different area.
Yeah, what's it called? Silver Belt? Is that what they call?
I think
like being
yeah, I think that's like the Milky Way. I'm assuming is what is Silver Pelt, but I guess I don't know.
No, I kind of thought that was just how they talked about the night sky, but then Tiger Star says that there's more sky than Silver Pelt.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, like, I don't know what any of this means, but I do desperately want to.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna come up soonish. I wonder if the next book will figure out where Tiger Star is.
I wonder, although we might not be getting any more. I don't know if we'll get Brambleclaw point of view next book or not.
This one was split between Brambleclaw and Leafpool, so maybe the next one will be split.
Yeah, well, we've gotten a lot. Leafpool has been, at least since book 2, has been about half the book has been Leafpool.
Yeah.
So we would get, like, mystical stuff from that, hopefully.
Melanie, I do feel it. We didn't talk about your incest thing.
Yeah, I want to know more.
Yeah, okay. So I'm fully prepared for no one else to feel this way, and that's totally fine. But there are points in this book, the interactions between Brambleclaw and Hawkfrost, that I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? So I wrote that this book was like, yeah, you can have some gay content, but make it incest, actually. So doesn't have to do with Hawkfrost, but Brambleclaw is like watching Leafpaw and Squirrelpaw interact at one point, and he feels jealous of Leafpaw's connection to her sister. It's like they're sisters. That's kind of weird that you're looking at them and being like, that's a connection. I don't know. That was kind of like, I was first being like, what's happening here? But there's a point when he is like thinking about Hawkfrost, and he's like, would we be friends like Firestar and Graystripe? Gay. To the point, this is what first leads to him and hold on, I'm not done. This leads to him and Squirrel Flight first fighting. He is so upset about her being like, I don't think he's a good dude. And he starts unsheathing his claws to this cat who he has said that he loves. So there's another point where someone's like, it's wild when we talked about parentage before, like as if like it didn't matter before. And now it's like, well, they're half brothers. It's natural for them to enjoy each other's company from time to time. Why? What? They're all like related in some kinds of way, whatever. But here's the one that really is like the nail in the coffin for me about like the incestuous kind of relationship between them. Hawkfrost's gaze never left Brambleclaw. Even in the darkness, the young ThunderClan warrior could not break away from the compelling ice blue eyes. For a few moments, the two of them seemed alone in the world, enclosed by the turmoil of the storm. That's I think that, like, he's got compelling eyes. I would never think that about my half sibling. Disgusting.
I feel like I feel like I'm watching I'm watching the red Pepe Sylvia. I get why you're saying what you're saying, but I feel like the thing about Brambleclaw being jealous set you on a dark path.
Yeah, it's very. I say this in only the most loving way. It's very like conspiracy theory. Of like one thing made you go, "This is off," and then you like look.
Yeah.
Like, he is hoping that he has a relationship with Hawkfrost the way that Firestar and Greystripe have.
Yeah, but he doesn't know that they're gay. He thinks they're just friends.
He can see them. He can see them.
The thing is, we had like as much as we talk about it, we do have to accept that what the book is trying to say is that they are really good friends.
Yeah,
brothers. And nothing more. We read a whole lot more into it. We know at least one of the writers does at least find the ship interesting, if not like actually trying to write it in. But it canonically, what the book is saying is that they are just friends. So when that line is just saying that Brambleclaw wants to be friends with him. They're not like nuzzling and shit.
Yeah, I think because I read it as so Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight in this book are actually kind of like foils to each other. So he's jealous of her close relationship with a sister because his sister is in another clan, they can't be friends. And then his brother and other sister are in a clan and they can't be friends. So I think all of that comes back to that. Also, I think I understand having an evil brother who's also very charismatic. so and it's not incest. So
yeah, but you don't want to hang out with. You don't feel compelled.
I did. When I was like a kid and a teenager, I did, and I felt jealous of other people who had good relationships with their closest sibling.
Okay.
So that's the read that I had, but of course, Mel,
I'm not going to say you're wrong. I disagree, and I don't see it there.
I see, especially the last part is very like heightened, charged language. So if you start with like, oh, why are they jealous of each other, and then follow that pathway down, I can see why you're reading that passage as incestuous and romantically charged. It's also happening at the same time as another romance scene, or not another, but as a romance scene.
Yeah.
So makes sense.
Yeah. Mace says, "Stepbro, I'm stuck in ThunderClan. Come help me."
I saw that. That was really cool.
It's 100%. Listen. You both made compelling arguments about why this is crazy for me to think.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy.
You think I'm out of my freaking mind to think this? To just see the signs there, put 2 and 2 together.
I put 2 and 2 together and I got incest, okay? Look, there's a track record in this book. I think there is incest accidental that gets retconned, so, you know, it happens.
Yeah, we have explicit incest.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to look for it.
And we've advocated for it, so, like, far be it from me to take away from your reading. Okay, I'm looking at the time. What else do people want to talk about?
I just mentioned this in the Twitch chat. So I would like to talk about the inherent sexism in the fact that Brambleclaw and Hawkfrost are Tigerstar's descendants, and they're like a main part of this book, and it's a whole big thing. Apparently, we've forgotten that Tawny Pelt exists, or that Mothwing is related to them as well, because there's no connection to them. And I do think it has to be pointed out that it is the 2 male characters who are like connected to Tigerstar, while the 2 female characters are completely forgotten. I mean, Mothwing has her own plot going on. Tawny Pelt is like basically not in this book. She shows up in a few scenes, but like she talks a little bit, but she's not at all plot relevant.
I miss her.
I know. She was so fun. I really like her.
And Tigerstar literally I'm assuming that Tiger Star had something to do with the fact that his son dreamed of him. Like, that has to be, like, they both dreamed of him at the same time. It doesn't seem to be accidental. He seemed to be aware that it was going to happen. He doesn't give a shit about his daughters. And that can just be him being sexist.
Mm-hmm.
But the book is also, like, it barely mentions that Mothwing and Hawkfrost are related. Like, it comes up a couple of times, but it's not, like, brought up as a major part. And again, Tawny Pell, I don't even think they mentioned that she's one of Tiger Star's kids.
Wow, a fascist preferring his sons over his daughters. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no shock for the characters. I do wish the narrative would talk about it more.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Do we think that if Tiger Star was still alive, he would talk extensively about how, like, you know, Mothwing is just, like, so attractive, and, like, if she wasn't his daughter,
you really are on the incest train tonight.
I'm just saying, we've compared him to Trump before.
Now that I think about it, Mel's been kind of pushing the cat incest card since, like, episode 1.
Hey.
There's been a lot of talk of cats.
Hey, editor, run the Melanie cat incest supercut real quick.
Go!
Well, now you got your next video.
Yeah, and I have to edit it. That's not happening. I'm not doing that. Can we talk about Mothwing a little bit? Did you have more that you wanted to say, Margo? Okay.
No, I just want to say there's some misogyny and I hate it.
Yeah, Mothwing is such a girl failure. She could not get anything right. She tried to start an opioid epidemic. She fed all the cats poison water that made them all sick. She really can't do anything.
Because I didn't put it on the recap, but because I didn't want to get into explain it. It's because she smells so bad she can't smell that there's a dead rabbit in a pool of water.
She smells like mouse bile, and so she's like, oh, whoopsie.
It's very like opening scenes of or like early scenes in a rom-com where the female romantic lead is like bungling everything.
Yeah. 9 to 5 is playing as she stumbles around with, like,
it almost kills a bunch of old cats.
Yeah, all these old cats are throwing up. And she just goes, oops. The way that Mothwing talks to Leafpaw about StarClan and the way that scene is written is like how a secular person in a chick tract talks when they're tempting a Christian. Like, the way that it's written, there's a movie that I had to watch when I was in high school that was called, I think it was called Pamela's Prayer, and it was about not kissing before you're married. And there's, like, a best friend in that movie who, like, kisses her boyfriend and then gets, like, pregnant out of wedlock. But when she first mentions... Well, I mean, it's the first step down a dark path. But the way it's like how those characters are like, surely it's okay to break the rules a little bit. Like, she's written in such a funny way. And Leafpaw's responses of being like, oh my god, this beautiful cat I love is an atheist. It's so funny. I love it so much.
I love her being a cat atheist too. It's so ridiculous. I'm so on board. She fucks everything up.
She never thinks, oh, hey, also, why the fuck does she want to be a medicine cat, by the way?
That's what I'm saying. She chose this. Like, if we're following the path down, like, she put the Mothwing there to be as a sign that she should be a medicine cat. She knows that medicine cats have, like, a connection to StarClan. It's in the job title. You're doing it a lot. You're getting signs from them all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't believe them? You shouldn't have this job. Do a different job.
I'd interpret things.
I just want to be a priest. I just want to be a priest even though I don't believe in God. Also, I would think a little bit of introspection after, like, the 5th time you've, like, fucked up healing someone that you'd be like, maybe I should believe in StarClan. All the other medicine cats are successful, but I'm not.
Do we think that she's gonna come around and when she starts, like, believing in StarClan, she will get better at being a medicine cat?
I think she's gonna die. I think she
Oh,
has. I think she has a doomed quality to her.
But then who's going to be the medicine cat?
Somebody else. I don't know.
we'll have
Someone
to
who
find
believes.
another one.
The heck?
She should take an apprentice soon, but how is she going to teach an apprentice? Because she doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
Whether or not they take an apprentice seems so random. Like, I think there are other
Yeah.
cats without an apprentice, but then, like, I don't know. Cinderpelt hasn't been. I guess Cinderpelt, there's a time skip. So Cinderpelt is medicine cat for a while by the time that
For I think at least a
comes
year.
around.
I get the vibe that it's like when there's a apprentice or like a cat that is like of apprentice age who seems suited to being a
Mhm.
medicine cat, like has visions or seems interested in it, or in Cinderpelt's case, can't do other stuff.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I get. Is just that
It's
it's
Yeah.
like
it
someone who's
is
good.
it is weird though that they kind of wait for like a cat who seems like maybe they already have a connection to Star Clan or like
Hmm.
some inclination, but then Cinderpelt just took on being a she's just like she didn't have another job, so she started helping
Yeah.
out and like learned it all. It's all learned.
Yeah, I think it started with her because she was injured for so long and sick for so
Mhm.
long. She had a really strong rapport with Yellowfang.
Right.
But yeah, it is like also
It's just weird that then they're like, well, but we gotta wait. Anybody else has gotta wait. Like
yeah.
we gotta see if any of the cats are right. But then
Mhm.
you can't just choose to
Yeah.
become a medicine cat. So that hasn't worked out for Mothwing.
No. I'm interested to see how that shakes out. Speaking
Mhm.
of cats having specific jobs, I had the thought while reading this, like, there has to be a better way for clans to get messages to each other rather than just deciding to cross into the other boundaries to talk to them, to talk
Yeah.
to other clans, and hope that like they're able to explain themselves before they get attacked. A thing that like
That
they're
always
all on
happens.
patrols defending their territory. So
Yeah.
like pretty dangerous. It seems like there should be a a role in each clan of like a messenger cat,
Yeah.
some kind of cat that can go between territories, and it's fine if they do.
Mhm.
Won't be attacked because that would really solve a lot of issues with the
Yeah.
hostility of being like, oh, you're coming into our campsite, and it's like, yeah, well, I need to talk to your
Yeah,
leader
I have to send a
because
message.
everyone's sick and we're trying to help you guys out.
They need like
Yeah.
they need like little vests for the cats that are delivering a message.
Yeah,
Yeah. They could
Like
send
service
they could
dog
send
little hat.
harness, but
ooh, hats and vests. They could send a little boat across now. They could make a little boat because
Right.
they're
because they know what
all
it is.
because they know what a boat is. um, while we're not exactly talking about this anymore, but I did have a note that Sorreltail and Leafpaw, who I was kind of shipping,
Yeah.
they're so good luck, babe. Like when Sorreltail is like, "Oh, I Bracken Pelt is like we're together now." I was like, this is good luck, babe. Oh, sure. Settle for the strong, handsome. Also, wasn't Brackenford? They were kind of setting up. He was like the interim deputy, but now Brambleclaw's like, why am I not the deputy? And it's like, well, I think it's gonna be Brackenpelt or whatever his name is. Brackenfur? I don't remember any of their names.
Brackenfur, I think.
I don't know. There's
Brackenfur
a
has kind of a dumb guy voice too.
Oh yeah,
that tracks.
that makes sense.
That tracks.
Of
Yeah,
course she got with a football player. Oh.
there is a lot of focus on the relationships in this book. Like I made my feelings on CrowPool like clear, but
Mhm.
uh there's also a lot of Brambleclaw and Squirrelflight like arguing the whole book. I feel like there wasn't that bunch before where it'd be like, oh yeah, this other cat, like not even a secondary character, but almost a tertiary character sort of. I guess she's secondary, but like she's not been very important to the plot. It's like, oh, we do have to keep mentioning how she's with this cat now. There's just, I don't know, a lot of
Yeah.
like relationships going on.
Ashfur, right?
Yeah. Ooh, is that right? Ashfur?
I think it's Ashfur.
Oh, yes. You're right. Yeah, because it was confusing because there was Ashfur, but then the deputy for Wind Clan is like Ash Paw or not
Yeah.
Paw, I guess.
Ashfoot,
Ashfoot,
I
yeah.
think, right?
I think that's right, and I kept getting them
I
confused.
hate it so much.
They have to get all the cats together because they have to make more cats so they can kill more cats. So it's the circle
that's
of
true.
life.
I feel like we just didn't get told about it before.
Yeah. There's a lot of it in this book. It's like, okay, get that cat pregnant, she gets 4 kits, and we'll kill like 3 of them.
They are out of kits, basically. It's right now. They
Only
have like
Bird's
1
kit.
kit left. So
When we see the kids playing, like I actually tear. I'm so happy they're happy in their afterlife.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That was really
Large
cute. I loved
Kit
that
and
scene.
that moment was really
Holly
good.
Kit?
Large
Yeah.
Kit, Holly Kit, and Shrewpaw.
Yeah, Shrewpaw.
Yeah.
I love Shrewpaw.
Mm-hmm.
Side note, because I mentioned voices before, they gave Cloudtail casual hot guy voice in this.
What does that mean?
Oh, no.
I'll have to clip it. It's not like as hot as like Ravenpaw's voices. Huh?
I said Gray Stripe.
Yeah, it's not as hot as Gray Stripe.
I'm down for Cloudtail being hot.
Yeah. He went from being really annoying Kit voice to now he's just like him. Oh my god. I found so I've been getting more Warrior Cats stuff on my Instagram feed. And it was a video that was like asking people what their Warrior Cats like name, your OC name. And I commented being like, I don't have an actual one. My friends and I are doing this podcast, and we have shithead ones. And someone asked about like, what is the podcast? And I went to this person's page because I was like, oh, they must have Warrior Cat stuff that I can watch. And they have a Tumblr, and they are an artist, and they did a drawing of like Cloudtail and Brightheart, and it's so good. I reposted it. Margot, if you go and look, it's so good.
Yeah, you gotta show me this.
I should put it in the chat. I'll put it in the Discord.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Speaking of some art, I probably should have brought this up earlier, but I did cross a major milestone.
Oh yeah, that's
last
right.
weekend when I bought my first Warrior Cats physical book. I bought the Ultimate Guide, which I can't look at too much because there are spoilers to like the 4th arc. But I flipped it when I was at the used bookstore. I flipped it open, and I happened to open to Yellow Frang. I was gonna see if I could find it here because it's just a gorgeous piece of art.
You have a really good used bookstore.
And I was like, well, I have to download. And in case that wasn't enough, I also did go ahead and buy the first book of the next arc because it was like $3. So
nice.
Yeah. I own Warrior Cats books now.
Nice. Oh, Siderian said one of my favorite art pieces from the series. That's so cute.
It's so really good.
I feel like we should shout out Mudclaw did say that he's gonna make his clan great again. I think this was the first time that they've said like I would make this clan great. Like they've used, but I think this is the first time that they said make clan great again. Like I think that conjunction was the first time, and I was like, whoa. Another I don't know, who do we think Mudclaw is, like Stephen Miller or something? Kind of a just annoying, weak.
He's gotta be like a failed fascist somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, like Dan, what's his name? The border czar who stepped down.
Oh,
what was his name?
Yeah,
I keep wanting to say Dan Bongino, but that's a different guy.
That's the podcaster guy. You're thinking of Greg Bovino, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone we hate. I don't know. I just felt like I should at least mention it because I think we've called it out every other time.
We have. Good point. While we're at little things, this is like not plot relevant, but I do want to say early point in the book, Brambleclaw has to. Oh, I think when Tallstar is dying and summons them, Brambleclaw has to go get Firestar. The book says Brambleclaw spotted Firestar sharing tongues with Sandstorm near the tree stump, and I just had to say, really awkward to interrupt your boss with business when he's making out with his wife.
But well, he doesn't see things that way. He doesn't know. He doesn't recognize relationships. Brambleclaw, the moment where he was talking to Squirrel Flight, and he was talking to Hawkfrost, I think, and then Squirrel Flight shows up, and then Hawkfrost leaves. And Squirrelflight's like, why the hell are you talking to him? Whatever. And Brambleclaw says, strong leadership is important to every clan in the forest. It's when Hawkfrost is like, oh, One Whisker is like not right or whatever. And the way that he said that just like put such a pit in my stomach, because it just reminded me of like all the times you're like talking to a dude who like seems cool, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, of course it's important to maintain our borders, or like something like that, or like, well, it is, I do think that like, we should protect women in sports, or like something like that. Was like the exact same vibe that I got, where I was just like, oh, Brambleclaw, you're falling into the pipeline. Which I kind of do like as a story beat, because we've seen Brambleclaw as the object of other cats not trusting him because of his parentage, but we haven't seen as much of him actually kind of being tempted by that ambitious side, and like cats calling him like, oh, you're a natural leader, you should be the deputy, you should be, whatever, I think is interesting. So it put a pit in my stomach, but I did like it. Like I was like, oh yeah, this feels real. This feels like a real thing.
This book, it feels like, is really telegraphing what's going to happen between them, which it feels like what's going to happen is Hawkfrost is going to want to make a play for more power, and he is going to be like, brother, I want you in on this. Like, we could be powerful together. We could both be leaders of our clans, and that's how he's gonna like find out what Hawkfrost is really like, and make a decision, a noble decision to turn that down. And brother versus brother. Blood will spill blood,
Blood will spill blood. I think we know whose blood is spilling whose.
It's the first time in a while I feel like we got a big prophecy like that wasn't resolved by the end of the book. We get the Firestar one from the Fire Will Save the Clan from the beginning. We get a lot where it's like it's resolved by the end. That one is left hanging for a bit. Which is weird, because that one also seems so obvious to us as readers. Like, not so much the cats, obviously, but like, to readers, that's obvious. I mentioned it too, but also left hanging is Midnight saying that she's going to go talk to the clans one more time.
Oh, yeah.
And then she doesn't return. Unless there's like something that I missed. There is a point where somebody mentions like one of the clans driving out a badger, but it wasn't.
It's Hawkfrost in the dream.
Oh,
Tigerstar is like, I know what you've been accomplishing, and I heard about the badger that you
and then Hawkfrost mentions it, or someone mentions it to Hawkfrost while Brambleclaw is there, and that's when Brambleclaw is like, oh, the dream was real, we were both there. I didn't I bet that was Midnight. I bet he drove off Midnight with somebody else.
The way it said though is like they drove out a badger, like from their den or something. So it made me think it was still something different.
Maybe it's not.
But
that would make sense if it was Midnight.
Yeah. It would just would be weird if Midnight didn't say anything, and you would think the other cats would be like, oh fuck, a talking badger.
Yeah, that's true. Also, Calmsy said Midnight is a little old lady badger. It takes her a bit to travel. That's true. It did seem like she was physically at Moon Pool at the beginning, but maybe she was astral projecting. Maybe she wasn't actually physically.
It's really implied from my reading that she was there. I had to go back and read the end of the prologue because I was like, did I miss something? Did I misread this the first time?
Yeah.
That was weird.
Do either of you have more stuff you want to talk about before we get to the last couple sections?
Nothing important. I had like some questions about like future storylines that I wanted to ask you two about, but we don't have to get into it.
We can also talk about it in the Discord. I keep forgetting
Sure.
to do discussion stuff in the Discord channel,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we could do that.
No, my only other note was that they should just fucking talk to each other. My God.
God damn it. They
That's
never
my
will.
recurring note.
Okay, well, let's talk about, speaking of talking, what about some lines we liked? Melanie, do you want to go first?
Yes, please. So I have two this time. One is from the prologue, which is Nightstar saying, "Power is not a piece of prey to be grabbed before it escapes," which I think is just like that's kind of beautiful. And then I don't remember who says this, but they say the warrior code would fade away like mist in sunshine, and that's just like a very poetic way
It's really good
to talk about that.
Yeah. I had two. One was very minor, but at one point, I don't remember what it was, but they say Brambleclaw's pelt. They're like, Brambleclaw's pelt, blah, blah, blah. Which is the closest so far to the famous McElroy invented cat, Bramble Pelt. So I did that. I was like, oh, Bramble Pelt. And then the other one I had was Leaf Pool right after she gets saved by Crowfeather. The line is, "She felt as though her paws walked on the wind and her head was full of stars," which I really liked, especially with all the star stuff that's been going on and because he's from Wind Clan. Also, I wanted to mention there are like 3 different times. I don't think this is one of them. 3 different times where Leaf Pool is feeling really good. She's like, I'm so happy to be doing this. And then she gets like pancaked by a horrible prophecy. It like kept happening twice with the blood prophecy. Like she was like, oh, this, I think she's coming back from, I think you put it in the recap, but she's like excited, like coming home from finding Moonpool, and then it's like she slipped on blood and remembered that everything was bad. But it happens like 3 times, and I was like, that's so funny.
Yeah, just to be in a medicine cat.
Yeah.
Starlight is not sending you visions of prey and happy meadows.
When they're sending their visions, they're not sending their best. Okay, Marco, what are your favorite lines?
I had two, and I know Taylor, you like this one too. When Brambleclaw is thinking about his separating from his friends that he'd been traveling with, he thinks, would the empty place inside him go on growing forever? Which is like a gut punch. Also, I'm not sure that I buy this whole dark ambition turn from Brambleclaw, but the line, "He shut his eyes, his claws sinking into the ground as a wave of hunger swept blackly over him, turning his blood to ice," goes really hard.
Oofa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Melanie, what did you rate this book?
It's funny. I feel like the three of us we really run the gamut this time of like Taylor really loving it, Marco really
don't spoil
not
my
liking
rating.
it. And me, I'm just kind of in the middle here. I'm giving it 4 out of 9 lives. This one didn't really blow my hair back, but it feels like it established a lot of things that it's going to be happening in these next 2 books. I will say there was a moment in this one. The reason why I didn't give it any lower than what I gave it. There's a moment when ThunderClan medicine cats are moving dens and Leafpaw curls up and tucks her nose under her tail. And the way that it's talked about, there's something that clicked in my brain in that description. And I was like, I'm in it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it, Peter.
Yeah. I rated this one 5 out of 5 blue stars. This was the first book in a while that I was like the first series, most of the books I was really like were page turners. Like I was really locked in. I wanted to like keep reading them and go back to them. The books so far in this series, it's not that I haven't enjoyed them, and maybe it's just been like my state of mind, but I haven't been like, oh, I can't wait to keep reading this book. It's kind of been like, oh, I have to read this for the podcast. It's fine, like it's an enjoyable read. But this one I was like, yeah, I'm really into this. I read and like wasn't getting distracted by other things. So maybe that's because it had stuff I like. Maybe it was just I was able to focus on it. I don't know, but I really liked this one.
Yeah, no shocker. I rated this one 2 out of 5, and I honestly could be lower. I think this is my least favorite of the books that we've read so far. I gotta be honest, gang, I genuinely didn't like this one. Uh,
That's so funny.
Half the book is just like new relationship drama that I find poorly written or completely uninteresting. About 30% of it is cats discussing where their borders should be. And again, I'd be so down for politicking and like trading things back. That's not what happens. This is cats being like, our border is here now. And then later another cat will be like, no, the border is here. Mostly it's like Shadow Clan pushes their border and Firestar goes, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not that the action that like was a bunch of the recap. It's like the last 20 pages of the book. It is genuinely like a quick rush at the end. This one felt like it spun its wheels for me, and I didn't like when it was spinning.
I think this makes sense because I feel like you really like the travel stuff a lot more than I do. I don't really like the books where they're like, and then we went to this place and it was kind of the same, and then we went to the next place and it was mostly the same, and then like that it kind of is more boring to me. So I feel like our sensibilities on this one are swapped.
Yeah, for sure.
We're at the frickin' end. Did either of you have things you want to plug?
No, I don't think I've mentioned in a while. I have some games on itch. I think they're in the links that Taylor puts out.
But yeah, everyone's links are in chat. I do have one thing to plug, which is Mondays for the next like month or so, month and a half, 2 months. I am gonna be on my friend Val's stream playing Thirsty Sword Lesbians. I think
we've seen your look for this too. I think I won't like say anything more about it. I will say we've seen your look, and I can say that it's fantastic and people should watch it.
Yes.
So good.
I am playing a Scoundrel, which is like my favorite Thirsty Sword Lesbians playbook, and I haven't gotten to play it before. So I do have here's a taste. I do wear these super cool glasses. Yeah,
Yes!
you almost can't see how pointed they are because my hair. I have a red pair as well, but they are difficult to wear because this is just plastic. It's not like how sunglasses kind of make it so it's not quite so red. So when I'm looking through these, it is like looking through one of those little decoder things. It is like so impossible for me to see through. But yeah, if you wanna see that, that's Mondays, 6 p.m. Eastern. And that's, like I said, it'll be ending in like April or something. I don't remember. Yeah, Melanie.
Taylor, we haven't picked a time or date for this, but is it okay for me to talk about over the table? Like
a potential
over the table?
Yeah, talk about it. I've been really bad about scheduling things, so my streams have been this has been mostly it. But yeah, talk about it.
So Margot, I don't even know if we had talked about this with you, or if it was just me and Taylor talking about it, but
I think we talked about it.
We were talking about possibly doing an over the table stream of the three of us.
Yeah, we talked about it a little while back.
I think we could do one that's like, the theme could be cats, could be cats and friendship, could be warrior related. I don't know.
Furry related.
Yeah.
Could be furries, all furries. Yeah, for people who don't know, Over the Table is a stream series that I do that's like a talk show like this, but I bring like Reddit stories that are TTRPG related, and then we talk about them. And usually there's a theme of some kind. I was doing them monthly. I think the last one I did was before Christmas. But yeah, I want to get back into doing more of them.
At some point we will be doing one of those.
Yeah.
Yes.
We haven't picked when that will happen, but
yeah,
maybe in the next few months.
Maybe in the next couple months. Well, kitty pets and warrior cats. That's our episode for today. You can find us online. I'm everywhere as Rolls for Felicity, Melanie as Lemony Drews, and Margot as Wild J Blue. Until next time, may Star Clan guide you and keep your eyes peeled for your Shadow Clan warriors. Bye.